Peacemaker was never meant to be the main character. When he appeared in the Suicide Squad, many viewers saw him as a background figure, a loud, brutal, slightly ridiculous man with a shiny helmet and a messed-up sense of justice. But something unexpected happened. Beneath the blood and sarcasm, people saw depth, pain, a broken man trying to make sense of the world. And someone else noticed that too. James Gunn, the creator behind Peacemaker, saw something in the character that begged for more story. So he gave him a series on HBO Max. Many didn't expect it to take off, but it did, in a massive way. The show climbed to the top of the platform's charts, gathering a loyal fan base and surprising even the most skeptical critics. The reason? It wasn't just about action or vulgar jokes. Beneath all of that was heart. Peacemaker, or Christopher Smith, wasn't just a killer. He was a man haunted by his past, his choices, and his father. He was flawed, but he was trying. And people connected to that dot originally. James Gunn had Season 2 planned and written. It was ready to continue the story where Season 1 left off. But then, everything changed. Gunn was appointed co-head of DC Studios, now responsible for the entire future of the DC universe. Suddenly, writing about one broken anti-hero felt a little more personal, a little more important. Gunn looked at the scripts again and realized something uncomfortable. They weren't enough. They didn't reach deep enough, not for who Peacemaker had become, and definitely not for where the DC universe was going. So he made a bold choice. He scrapped his original plan completely. Not because of studio pressure, not due to negative feedback, but because he had changed, and so had Peacemaker. What was once a darkly funny side project had become something more powerful. The new Season 2, still in development, will go in a totally different direction. Not bigger explosions or weirder villains, but deeper emotional weight. Peacemaker is no longer running from his past. Now he has to face it head-on. Season 1 showed us a man who kills for peace, yet is torn apart by the idea that he might never be enough. It gave us a glimpse at the boy behind the mask, the one shaped by violence, abuse, and disappointment. Season 2, according to Gunn, is going to dive deeper into that. Not the hero's journey, not redemption, but something raw, something human. What happens when you've survived your demons, but they're still following you? And James Gunn knows that story well. He's talked about how much of himself is in Peacemaker. The humor to cover guilt. The need to push people away before they get too close. The fear of being seen as weak. He poured that truth into the show. And now, with more power at DC than ever before, he wants the story to reflect something real, not just for the audience, but for the man behind the armor. The new plan for Season 2 doesn't follow a typical superhero structure. It's not another mission or another big bad guy to punch. It's about identity. What happens when Peacemaker finally stops looking for a fight and starts looking for who he really is? It's not just about carrying guns anymore. It's about carrying the emotional weight of everything he's done, everything he can't take back, and everything he still wants to become. We'll also see more from the characters around him, like Harcourt and Adebayo. Their stories won't just be about the team. They'll be about their wounds, their trauma, their need to belong. Because they aren't sidekicks in this story, they're survivors too. And in Season 2, Gunn wants us to understand that everyone's wearing a mask, not just Chris, and yes, there will still be action, chaos, and the weirdly perfect mix of violence and comedy that made the first season so addictive. But Gunn promises that everything will come from a deeper place this time. No moment, just for laughs. Every fight and every joke will be built from emotional truth. That's the heart of the new season. In a world full of superheroes saving the priests out, WHO saving the pre-seed. YDS.loadotc, that is same.live.long case law like save. Every CD/caller lock last team. My Katie, EOF. My K is my CD. My CD, YCC.ly It's CD. It's FAT, CD. My CD slide. Like it go Lee Katie it is end. It's Sally Massa cards we meet to suppuse kami is sick to be said to lead the sickest to buy sit to read to say to Day, Peacemaker remains different. He's not saving the world. He's trying to save himself. And maybe that's why we care. Peacemaker's story is no longer just about killing for peace or making the audience laugh with his awkward charm. James Gunn has made it clear, Season 2 is about something much more personal. It's about healing, about reckoning, about asking what kind of man Christopher Smith can be without the gun in his hand and the mission driving his every move. John Cena, who many doubted at first, became a huge part of why Season 1 worked. He didn't just play Peacemaker, he felt him. He leaned into the broken parts, the mistakes, the insecurities. And now, with Season 2 heading in a deeper direction, reports say Cena is more inspired than ever. He's not just ready to act, he's ready to go further. To peel back even more of Chris's armor and show the scarred human being still hiding underneath. Fans may think they know Peacemaker by now. The dance number, the brutal fights, the ridiculous helmet collection, ... But Season 2 won't just flip the script. It will dig under it. Gunn has hinted that this time around, it won't be external villains that pose the biggest threat. It's going to be internal wounds. Memories? The stuff most superheroes run from. Season 2 will ask the hard questions. Can Peacemaker forgive himself? Can he accept love, friendship, or peace without ruining it? And what about the people around him? Gunn hasn't confirmed the full cast list, but he has given clues that we'll be seeing more of the Peacemaker team, possibly in very different states of mind. Adebayo is still dealing with the guilt of betraying the group, even if she did what she thought was right. Harcourt's coldness has cracks now, after slowly letting Chris in. Economos, too, finally found purpose. But all of them carry the weight of what happened in Season 1. This time, they're not just team members on another mission. They're a family trying to figure out if that bond was real or just built from trauma. And emotionally, that's where James Gunn tends to shine. He doesn't just write characters, he writes their worst fears, their ugliest truths. Then he puts them together and somehow makes it beautiful. Season 2 isn't about making Peacemaker more super. It's about making him more real, and that's risky. Most shows, after hitting #1, especially on a platform like HBO Max, would play it safe. Stick to the formula. More action, more jokes, bigger budgets. But James Gunn is walking the other way. He's choosing emotion over spectacle, growth over comfort. Because what comes next for Peacemaker might not be pretty. It might hurt to watch. But it just might be the most important arc of his entire story. There's been some speculation about new characters joining the show. Some fans believe we might get cameos from other corners of the DC universe. Others hope for more closure with Peacemaker's brother, whose tragic death still haunts him daily. There's even a theory that the BFF ghost version of his father, Augie Smith, the White Dragon, might become more than just a haunting memory in Chris's mind. That he might, somehow, become a twisted conscience. A symbol of guilt refusing to let go. Whether or not that's true, one thing is certain. Chris can't escape who he was. But maybe, finally, he can choose who he becomes. On top of it all, there's a very real emotional layer happening off-screen. James Gunn isn't just writing for Peacemaker. he's living through him. In interviews, he's candid. This character reflects a version of himself that's angry, judged, misunderstood, dismissed. Through Chris, Gunn explores redemption not just in story, but in life. That's what makes Peacemaker different. It's grounded in real scars, real doubts. It doesn't want to impress you. It wants to be honest. And now, as the DC Universe rebuilds under Gunn's leadership, Peacemaker represents something bigger than himself. Not just a character arc, but a creative vision. Gunn is showing Hollywood and every fan watching that it's okay to tell superhero stories that are messy, that are flawed, that don't always have clean answers or epic showdowns. Sometimes, the battle doesn't happen in the streets. Sometimes it happens in a single moment of stillness when a man sits alone, finally ready to feel the pain he's hidden for years. That's Peacemaker now, not a walking punchline, but maybe a man worth saving. And so, as Season 2 slowly takes shape behind the scenes with no confirmed release date, no flashy marketing push just yet, the story has already captured something rare in today's superhero world: quiet anticipation. People aren't just asking what happens next, they're asking how he'll change, and when the series finally returns. It might not be loud, it might not be soaked in explosions or jokes every 3 seconds, but it will be raw, honest, human, just like the man who created it, and just like the man broken, bloody helmet and all, who still calls himself Peacemaker.